Hey guys, and welcome to my commentary of my Pokemon Yellow single segment glitchless speedrun in 1 hour and 55 minutes. We do use in-game time to time this run, so that's why it is an even 155. This is a run that I've been waiting for a really long time, and I think that I'm really happy with my gameplay and decisions with this run. This is the current world record when I did this commentary, so yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm not going to have the volume for the run because I have myself talking and it would be a big hassle to remove that, but yeah. So as you can see by my attempt counter in the upper right hand corner of the run, I have attempted this game a lot of times without really getting the run that I wanted or getting the gameplay consistently throughout the run that I wanted, and even this run didn't achieve the time that I wanted. The world record before this run was 1 hour 56 minutes, and I really wanted to get 1 hour 54 minutes, but yeah. So there's obviously not too much going on in the beginning of the game. I just named myself K and my rival A. Those are both one character names, and every character that the game has to render is a frame. So you save a decent amount of time throughout the run by naming names that you see a good bit, one character, the most important of which is your Nidoran, the Pokemon that you do use for most of the game. The biggest difference between Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow at this stage of the run is that right here we're going to get Pikachu, which is obviously not viable to complete the game with, and Red gets a Squirtle, so that can beat Brock and like swap train its Nidoran up. So we have to go toil in the fields and catch ourselves a Pokemon to beat the game with. So it's worth noting that this rival fight does have significance in the run, even though you might not think it would, because we don't use Pikachu, so its level doesn't matter. But the evolution that the rival's Eevee will evolve into is determined by whether we win or lose this fight. If we win this fight, it'll be Flareon, which is preferable, and if we lose the fight, it'll be Vaporeon, which is very annoying to deal with, actually. But there's also a chance to get Jolteon. You have to win this fight and then also do the optional rival fight over on Route 22 by Victory Road, or on the way to Victory Road, but we skipped that fight, so the game counts it as a loss. So yeah. Oh, I just ran into the wall there. That's funny. I totally forgot. I was trying to yeah, I think I'm gonna run into the next wall too. Yeah, I did. I was trying to look at some links on Skype there that someone was sending me, and I wasn't looking at the screen at all. So I would say that was pretty good for not looking at the screen at all. But that just shows you how, you know, I kind of try to shrug off the really small mistakes in like the first 8 to 10 minutes of the run, because if you stress too hard about it, you're just going to drive yourself crazy, because this is a really hard game to not get frustrated with, because it is a very reset intensive if you're going for world record times, because the reset point is something like, 8 minutes into the run, and it's very, very common that you need to reset there. So yeah, I haven't actually gotten any encounters yet though, so this time is Really nice. Almost a 420 grams there, but not quite. Um, so yeah, we are mostly just in kind of reset mode right now, where I'm not really expecting too much from the game. I haven't even been playing that long today. Maybe like an hour, I think, into it. So, we're always hoping and such, but I wasn't really ready for the run that I got. So, this cutscene is really long. It's like 45 seconds, and you have to mash efficiently the whole time. It's a little annoying, but yeah. I don't remember if I actually got 0 or 1. I want to say it was 1 encounter. Okay, it was actually 0. Wow. So yeah, that's about a 1 in 40 chance to get 0 encounters up, down, and up route 1 again. So that was really good. Each encounter takes something like 10.5 seconds, depending on what the length of the cry of that Pokemon is. No, I don't think that we'll switch to RTA, but I do think that we should. So yeah, that was sub 6 old man on Flareon strats. So this is a really good time. It's worth noting that buy, what I just bought from the mart, is significant because the money I have left over will matter later. I bought 5 Pokeballs and 6 potions. So, yeah, that'll be significant later. So yeah, this is a really, really, really good time getting to the Nidoran bush. Like 7 minutes is still good, but this is like really fast. So what I'm going to do here is I see that I am at level 5 Pidgey in the encounter cycle. So I try to wait enough time for the Nidoran to come around in the cycle and then try to produce an encounter. It's not a guaranteed method, especially since I don't know exactly where in the cycle I am by getting 1 encounter, but by getting the second encounter I get a good idea, and so I look right away and we get our Nido. Now our previous strat here was to just weaken the Nido with Pikachu, but it was very frustrating because not only could he still break out after you attacked him twice, but we were paralyzing a lot. There's a 10% chance to paralyze with Thundershock. So here I get second ball, which is actually faster than weakening it twice and throwing a ball, and I don't have to heal it at all. You'll see that I give him a 1-letter nickname there, and then we're off. So I notice right away that this run probably has some potential if the Nidoran is decent. The stats of the Nidoran are random every run, so we have to deal with one Nidoran having good attack, one Nidoran having perfect speed, and just the different situations that arise with that. So this first fight can tell me a lot about my stats. For example, you'll see B used Leer. I went first there. The only way you can go first is if you win a speed tie, and the only way you can be speed tied is if your speed is pretty good. So I'm already feeling really good about this Nidoran. Really good, actually. That first roll, that critical, criticals ignore stat changes like Leer. So when I leered him twice and then crit, the crit actually did less damage than a non-crit would. So I see that this Nidoran is fucking destroying Caterpie. So I know that the attack is probably good too. So I see my stats there are 14, 12, 13, 11. That's pretty good. I was actually hoping for better because this Nidoran was giving the signs of one that was near perfect, but this one is just pretty good. It's definitely an above average Nidoran. So yeah, this fight is pretty straightforward. The one thing to note about this fight is that I did stay really high HP. for the fight. So I am able to not potion for the next fight. But yeah, my stats there, if you have very good eyes, you saw were 16, 13, 15, 12. That means my attack is the highest value it could be. Defense is the highest value it could be. Speed is the highest value it could be. HP is also the highest value it could be. And my special is average. My special actually wound up being 1 point away from average. So every tile in Viridian Forest has a 25 out of 256 chance, or roughly 10% chance to produce an encounter. In red, there's a lot of encounterless tiles, and the encounter rate is much lower, but in yellow, the forest is super frustrating. I actually don't know how many encounters I got. I think it was 3, but yeah. So the worry here is that I get string shotted by Caterpie, and he gives me string shot, but it actually fails, which was so nice. Because now I don't lose that half turn to Caterpie being faster, and I can attack the Metapod before he has a chance to harden. This Metapod is not ported from red blue, which means that it does have string shot and tackle. So he does harden right away, but then I get a critical, and then he hardens again, which means he lives this horn attack, but then I critical. Oh, that was the other run. Oops. And never mind. I just get to save horn attacks there. I got to tackle and finish him off. That fight was really, really good. It's really nice to not lose turns to being slower, because you're very likely to get string shotted, and even one makes you slower than both Caterpie and Metapod. So this is my second encounter of the forest, and I get a much-needed Pidgey. I'm hoping for this all the time. There's a 24% chance of a Pidgey encounter. Yeah, I'll talk about how my heart was feeling during the Elite Four later. Skynets. So that is actually really annoying. That Pidgey is literally like 2% away from being a guaranteed catch. Super annoying that he broke out there. But now, and the major reason for that is now my HP is in this really precarious position for the next fight. Like, I might be forced to heal. Yes, this comment's going on YouTube. Yeah. So it's worth noting that you might be asking yourself, oh, couldn't you just skip those last 2 trainers? Well, you could, but I don't have a move to fight Brock yet. That's one of the major things that Nidoran is good for, is that it learns double kick at level 12, so I can kill Brock with just Nidoran. But I need to grind a little bit to get there. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about with my HP being precarious. I'm at 8 HP, and he does 4 per turn. I get string shot, but I need another string shot here, so I don't have to heal, and he gives it to me, which is really nice, because it's actually perfect, because if he even if he tackled me there, I would have had to potion to 24 HP, but that's not enough for the next fight. So I would have had to heal all the way to 32 HP, but 32 HP is too much for the next fight for a reason I'll show you in a second. Wait. So that was either, actually was not counting. That was either a 2 or 3 encounter forest, but with a Pidgey, which is incredible. I think that actually might have been 2. But yeah, that was a sub 13 forest with a Pidgey, which means this run has a ton of potential. Like a ton of potential. Which, you know. So I'm recognizing really early on that this is a good run, and I need to play it like one. As far as, like, you know, some preservation strats, not taking unnecessary risks. Yeah, I actually got really lucky with that Caterpie, because if he gave me a tackle on either of those turns, I would have lost a decent bit of time. I think I might get crit anyway, though. So yeah, when you are under 21-ish % HP, the danger music plays and your HP turns red. That's called a red bar. And you skip the jingles, the da-na-na-na-na-na-na, when you level up or when you gain new moves. And I just so happen to be gaining a new move and leveling up here, double kick and level 12. I want to say, okay, yeah, so I missed tackle. That's normally really bad. And then I'm like, oh no, it's totally fine, right? Because he's doing 5 because my defense is perfect, but he crits me. So my last run died to that Sandshrew. I was really scared, but he didn't crit me on the turn that would kill me. So I was really happy about that. So yeah, I didn't get the jingle skips on this fight, but I'm alive, which is the important thing to me. And so you see I get double kick there right before Brock. The trainers that we need to fight are really optimized. So I heal to full for Brock and go on in. Now it's worth noting that I do know most of my DVs now. My HP is the maximum DV is 15, and a DV is a hidden value that determines the growth rate of my stat. So my HP is 13, my attack is 11, my defense is 15, my speed is 12, and my special, I wasn't sure yet, but it wound up being 7, which is the worst stat of the run. So you'll see that Geodude doesn't get 2-shot here, which is actually really annoying, because if I had one more attack DV, then I would be guaranteed to 2-shot, but I have a very small chance in this case because my attack value is one number lower. It's also worth noting that if my speed value had been 1 DV higher, then instead of being speed tied with Misty Starmie, I would have been faster. No, it's not a new streaming spot. You're looking at me from my computer instead of from my TV. So I get Onyx bide turn 1, which I'm really happy to see. He does give me a short bide, which means that he has one more turn here to attack me. And he goes ahead and gives me the tackle. This is really worrisome because like giving Onyx turns overall means that he has more chances to bind you, and since he's faster than you, he can chain bind you forever. So yeah. So I saved 22 seconds, basically 21 seconds on that split. Like, that's amazing. That I actually do think that force was 2 encounters, and with pretty good fights too, because saving 20 seconds on that split while having a Pidgey is really good. So I'm seeing that this run is absolutely like 154-ish pace, and it's really worth noting that I was playing around 154 this whole run. Like, every decision I made was to get a 154, not a 155. The only reason that I am actually doing commentary on this run is because I'm really happy with my gameplay, and I feel that I deserved it based on the luck that I got and the decisions I made. So here we're really worried about string shot, because if we get 1 string shot, we're slower than every bug in this fight. So we do get tackle there. It is 50-50 for tackle or string shot. But I crit him, which allows me to save a horn attack for free, which is really nice. Even though it doesn't save a turn, I get to save more. So I do get string shot from the Weedle. That's pretty standard. I wasn't feeling going for that tackle roll. That almost definitely wouldn't have died from there. String shot fail from the Caterpie. That's the fastest thing he can do. And do I actually go for... Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, I could have gone for tackle there, but because I saved a free horn attack on the first Caterpie by critting him, I didn't need to do it. So, because my speed is very solid, like in the top 25%, I'm faster than this Rattata, but he gives me quick attack, which is really annoying. This Nidoran stats were 16, 13, 15, 12, and the DVs are HP 13, attack 11, defense 15, speed 12, special 7. So, this Ekans has Wrap, and we're pretty worried about it, but we do get Leer. He has a 1 in 3 chance to Wrap, and then a 15% chance for it to miss. But we get a really good roll. That is a decently hard 2-shot, so yeah. That was really nice to see that fight go so well. Even with quick, like, I'd rather get quick attack than have, be getting wrapped. Wrapped can take anywhere from like 6 extra seconds to like 18 or 17 extra seconds, because it can last from 2 to 5 turns. Super annoying. So you may be wondering, why are you fighting the last Gunner? How are you going to get around the trainer under him? Well, we actually do have a decision here, even though it doesn't look like it. So I'm worried about quick attack here because I would have had to heal for the Nidoran if I got quick attack, but I didn't, so it was really nice to not have to heal there. But yeah, when this fight ends, I'll show you how we deal with not having to fight the trainer under this Lass. That trainer under Lass has 4 Pokemon, Caterpie, Weedle, Kakuna, and Metapod, and those Kakuna and Metapod only use Harden, and you don't have mini horn attacks at all at this point in the run. So it's super, super, super bad to fight that trainer if you don't have to, since we already did our grinding before Brock. So we step 1 step outside of Route 3, and then that resets the positions of the trainers back to their original spots so we can bypass this guy. It might seem a little counterintuitive to backtrack, but that fight is much, much, much worse for us. We don't need the XP. We don't have the horn attacks to deal with it at all. I mean, you'll notice I have 0 horn attacks at the end of this route, and were all used well. Because, you know, we're using horn attacks all the way from Viridian Forest, whereas in Pokemon Red, you start using your horn attacks after Brock. So I get a good roll here. The Caterpie doesn't string shot me. Good to see. I do go ahead and just tackle it off, and then I'm guaranteed to 3-shot the Metapod. So, yeah. I actually had a terrible first roll. Like, that was really, really bad. Like, super bad. But that's okay. It's guaranteed 3-shot, so. Okay, so that was a very solid Route 3. The only thing that happened, really, was I got 1 quick attack, and I got string-shotted by the second bug on the first fight, losing about 1 turn's worth by being slower than both of them. So, but that was good. The last thing that needs to happen is there's 5 steps of grass to get through, and this is where we'd catch a Spearow if we didn't get a Pidgey in Viridian Forest. It has a 55% encounter rate, but we didn't need to. We didn't get an encounter, and we're moving on. It's really, really nice, actually. So my PB had like an insane Route 3 with crits and such. So I am losing a bit of time here because of that. But it's not much at all, and it's really good to see that I didn't lose like very much at all. So I'm depositing Pikachu here because Pikachu triggers cutscenes throughout the game that take longer than just depositing him. He also costs time every time you heal because you have to hand him to Nurse Joy, and then Nurse Joy has to hand him back to you. And he can also block your movement when you backtrack, which isn't too often. But yeah, I'm losing like, what, 7 seconds? Yeah, 7 seconds. That's amazing. 22:07 entry to Mount Moon is like incredible. Really, really incredible time. One of the best I've seen. So, Mount Moon. Obviously, if you don't know much about a speedrun, you could... Wow, I can't believe I got 2 encounters that fast. If you know anything about a speedrun, you know, Mount Moon is a place where I can lose a run just because of encounters. It sucks, but encounters take a long time, and there's a lot of Mount Moon to get through. Also, there's no repels at this point in the game, though there are in Fire Red. So I had to make a decision with that Sandshrew. I could have tossed my only Pokeball at it and had about a 33% chance of catching it, and then I would have my dig and cut slave, but I opted not to because I didn't feel like I needed to take a risk like that. It's very minimal time save, by the way, because he what the fuck? Like, that was probably the biggest mistake of the run. Like, literally, that movement around that rare candy was probably my biggest mistake of the entire run. Like, I have no idea what happened there. I've never seen anything like that before, but that was absolutely terrible. I gave myself like 5 extra chances for encounters. Like, that was that was terrible. So I'm at 3 encounters right now, and I'm feeling okay about it. You know, my first 2 encounters were really fast, but I'm getting some decent stretches now. 3 encounter floor 1, not that great. Oh, I think this is where Jordan calls me, and like, I think he's about to call me. Yeah, look at my... Oh, you guys can't see my face in the video, but yeah. So that's 4 encounters. What I'm looking for is a Geodude right now, because it's the one Pokemon that I can one-shot for enough experience to get Thrash one fight early on Nugget Bridge. I use my Moonstone on this floor because the Geodudes are guaranteed to be 1 level higher than they are on the bottom floor, and they also have Um, uh, they also, what was I going to say there? I don't know. But yeah, they go up in level on this floor, and they also occur more on this floor. So we still need to kill one, so I evolved to get it. Yeah, I'm on the phone here. So I'm very likely to kill this Geodude. My voice is great, really? Thanks, man. And I don't kill him. It's super fucking retarded that I didn't get that one shot, but whatever. Not when you're Nidoking. You have a higher chance of killing a level 11 Geodude as Nidoking than you do killing a level 10 Geodude as Nidorino. So yeah, that was 5 encounter. 5 encounter Mount Moon with Geodude. Absolutely amazing. Really, 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 really good. So these fights are not too bad. Four, one tunnel, and then Geodude. I thought it was 3 on 1. Whatever, it was 5 or 6, something like that. So we do get tackle from the Voltorb. His other move is Screech. It's really not worth mentioning. But you did see that I used double kick there, which is worth noting. If you only have to use one of the 2 parts of double kick, then it's faster than Horn Attack, because Horn Attack has a flash animation when animations are turned off, and double kick has a shake, which is faster even if there's not very effective text. So I got a terrible first roll on the coughing, but then I went ahead and crit it on the second turn. You're supposed to 2-shot that anyway, but I wasn't going to without the crit, so it was lucky. You double check the YouTube VOD? Okay, well it was 6 encounters. I'm bad. This commentary is gonna be on YouTube, and I'm gonna highlight it. So yeah, don't worry about it, guys. That's the whole point, is for this to be on YouTube. So yeah, I'm just looking at my time right now, and I'm like knowing that this is super 154 pace. Like, I am actually getting a little scared because of how good this run's pace is. So he gave me Learfail there. That Atkins does have Wrap, and I unfortunately crit him on the second turn. But I didn't get Wrap. And I think that's this run in the nutshell, really, is that which has happened with that Ekans. I didn't get the optimal outcome, but I also didn't get the shittiest outcome either. Like, that's this whole run in a nutshell. It's like, well, at least it wasn't, at least it wasn't X. Okay, so you see we are going to double kick this coughing. It's going to give us not very effective text, but the shake animation is just faster than the flash. Not very effective text is something like half a second, and shake is something like 0.8 seconds faster than flash. So you're saving somewhere in the range of 0.4, 0.5 seconds every time you do that with not very effective text. And the elusive sub 28 Mount Moon. There's only been a handful of those from any of the runners. Maybe I would say less than 10 sub 28 Mount Moons have ever been had. So yeah, if this rare candy and the one we got in Mount Moon are integral to the run, like, you might be wondering, like, why the fuck are you trying to get extra encounters? It's just a rare candy, but that rare candy is worth like thousands of experience, and it gets us the very important level 25 for Misty. It's a key level because on most Nidoran stat lines, that's the level where you have a chance to speed tie or outspeed Starmie. Your HP and special are good enough to tank 2 bubble beams, and your attack is good enough to 2-shot her. All of those things are very important to beating what is probably the hardest fight in the game. Though this, in my opinion, is the worst fight in the entire game. Rival to my arch nemesis. Arch, I don't know. This Spearow has Growl and Fury Attack, which is basically Wrap. But I get Lear Fail, which is one of the best outcomes possible. it's more than just levels that end in 5, Shiro. It's also 0, 3, and 8. Give you... Yeah, okay, so this Chancer only has Scratch and Sand Attack, and I got hit by Sand Attack, and I crit on the final turn, which is super annoying. So, yeah, we're getting some misses now. Rattata gives us the worst possible move, Hyper Fang. We miss again. He gives us the worst possible move, Hyper Fang. And then we take him out. We really wanted the Rattata to give us Tail Whip to reapply Brock's badge boost and then have a guaranteed one-shot on the Eevee. Which is super annoying that we didn't get it because now I do not one-shot the Eevee. And then I'm pretty sure I miss again. Super annoying. This fight was really, really not good at all. Like, I missed 3 times, I think. For getting Sand Attack, I think twice, it's not that bad, honestly. But that's why that fight sucks. Because you're so likely to lose some kind of time there. It's frustrating. So, if you got leered by the Spearow, and then you get Sand Attacked right away after that, and you have good attack, you do have a chance to 2-shot the Sandshrew, yes. You actually have a chance to 2-shot the Sandshrew with no Sand Attack, just Leer, if you have perfect attack. So this Caterpie never dies from Horn Attack, but I killed a level 11 Geodude, which is actually significant at this exact place, because if I killed a level 10 Geodude, I wouldn't level up here, and the Weedle would be definitely a damage range. But since I get the inherent boost from level 20 plus the attack stats from killing the level 11 Geodude, this Weedle is no longer a damage range, which is nice. And it kind of makes up for, not getting the level 11 Geodude, I guess, or one-shotting him in Mount Moon. So yeah, obviously this is just a gauntlet of trainers. All of these trainers are necessary because you have to go get the SS ticket. This is a glitchless speedrun. So this Pidgey is absolutely a damage range. My attack is only 11 DV. But I did get him, which is really, really nice. Like, super nice, because he has Sand Attack, Quick Attack, and Gust. Didn't crit the female Nidoran, which you really want to, because she has Double Kick, which takes a ton of time, which is funny because that's like our time-saving move. But when they use it against you, it takes for fucking ever. So, yeah, I got Tackle, which is Growl Fail would have been better, but Tackle's fine. No complaints. Oh, by the way, you guys may be wondering like how much time I need to get the various in-game time landmarks, and around -120 is 154, and by that token -20 is 155. So I'm playing around my in time being -120 for this run. So we missed the Ekans range by 1 HP. That's a very, very hard damage range to hit on 11 DV attack. It's not unfortunate at all that it went that way. I didn't get wrapped. So. Did you guys really seem to like my commentating voice, which I didn't even know I had? I think it's just because I'm really close to the mic, but I'll try to do some more stuff like that. Okay, so here you see I level to level 21. That's why we kill a Geodude, so that I can rare candy to 23 here and get Thrash for this fight. So my stat line there, 54, 49, 52, 44. Those are pretty damn good stats. I'll go ahead and list off my DVs again for you guys, for those of you who are watching around the level 23 area. HP is 13, attack is 11, defense is 15, speed is 12, and special is 7. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put your execution for this run? 9. I've already pointed out I took like 2 extra steps to pick up the rare candy in Mount Moon, which was like fucking stupid. I don't know why that happened at all, because it's never happened to me now. But yeah, I'll note every mistake I make in this run, and by the end, I think you'll agree my execution was very worthy this run. So I went ahead and swapped my Thrash to slot 1 there. I actually forgot to mention this earlier. I'm moving my moves into, like, you know, the ones I use the most are at the top and the bottom, just one input away or on it. Let's talk about Thrash for a second, though, because we're going to be seeing a lot of Thrash, and this is the part of the game where Thrash shines the most, is this mid-game where you're kind of like ahead in levels because you've only been trading one Pokemon and they haven't had very much time to catch up yet. Thrash is a move that has 90 power that hits, normal move that has 90 power that hits for 3 to 4 turns with 1 PP usage. So we use Thrash at the beginning of these fights, and as long as we don't need at least 4 of them, then we are 100%, 99.6% fine on every fight. Thrash just absolutely tears through these Pokemon, and this is why Nidoking is amazing. One of the reasons is Thrash just goes in at this part of the game. You just one-shot everything, and no one has 4 Pokemon to... because after the 3 or 4 turns of thrashing, you get confused. It's 50-50 for the 3 or the 4, and then obviously a 50-50 to hit through confusion. So if you guys remember before, I was talking about getting Sandshrew, and I opted to not throw the ball at it because the Charmander that I just picked up is the much, much safer and more consistent alternative. It can learn Dig and Cut, though you do have to overwrite a move to teach one of those. And it's just, it takes a couple seconds. Like, you just go talk to the guy, he's a terrible trainer, hands you the Charmander, you're good to go. So I didn't feel like I needed to risk the Sandshrew at all. So this Onix has Tackle, Screech, and Bind. Only Brock's Onix has Bide, but he does give me Screech, and that critical is another mistimed critical. There were quite a few this run, where if I just crit on the first turn, not the second turn, it would have been like really helpful. That is very likely to die if you critical, and it would have with the damage roll that I got. But so yeah, almost none of these are. In fact, only the Onix on a crit roll is a damage range. All of these Pokemon die in one hit, no matter what, which is really nice. Let's see. Yeah, so just there's not too much that can happen here. The only thing that can happen that I guess we can talk about, because it does actually happen at a really, really bad spot in this run, is a Gen 1 miss. So in Gen 1, there is an added 1 out of 256 or 0.4-ish% chance for any move to miss. That applies to Thrash, which has 100% accuracy. It applies to Thunderbolt. It applies to Bubble Beam, Ice Beam. All these moves that have 100% accuracy that we use throughout the run have a 1 in 256 chance to miss at all times. So you always have to sweat it just a little bit, because you're pretty likely to get 1 per run at least. So yeah, and in this run, it definitely screws me. And we'll talk about my bad Gen 1 miss, which, I have to have a bad Gen 1 miss in all of my runs. Yes, I have Gen 1 missed on this trainer before into short Thrash and lost a bunch of time for fucking no reason. It sucks, but, that's just how it is. Sometimes you Gen 1 miss, and sometimes it screws you. Yeah, I mean, the Gen 1 miss chance applies to any move. So if it has a 90% chance to miss, then it also has 90% plus 1 out of 256 to miss. So this is where Pikachu would trigger a cutscene here at Bill, and this cutscene alone is enough to warrant depositing him. So Bill blah blah blahs, blah 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 party, blah 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 ticket. So in Pokemon Red, you can actually escape rope out of this house, but in Yellow you can't. So we have to walk all the way back, which is, it's fine. Everyone has to do it. It doesn't actually really change anything. except that you don't have to deal with the escape rope. So yeah, I prefer it this way. So because I took the Pokemon Center at Mount Moon, which is pretty standard and faster, I can now take the Pokemon Center after Nugget Bridge, which leaves us at a higher HP for Misty. I do need to be full HP for Misty, though, because, okay, I know I talked about this earlier, but my speed DV is 12, which is the highest DV that still speed ties Misty Starmie. Me and Misty Starmie will both have 56 speed. So I'm sweating really hard here. I do have good enough HP and special to survive 2 bubble beams most of the time, unless she high rolls me twice. I am only speed tied, though, so I'm really scared that I'm gonna. Yeah, there's a ton of menuing techniques in yellow too. I'm really scared that I am gonna die, because this is the most likely place for this run to die. Like, I'm actually freaking out at this point in the run. Like, my heart is pounding, and I'm kind of losing it a little bit, because I'm really scared that this insanely good run is gonna die to Misty. So this is annoying. I get Peck from the Goldeen, which might not seem like much, but there is an absolute chance that I live with 4 HP from Misty. So unfortunately, I do have to potion off that 4 HP, which wastes time, and I would have saved time if I didn't have to. But I have enough potions left to do this. It's not a big deal. Really. So I am favored to win this fight, absolutely. I have the speed tie. I have a good enough attack to 2-shot almost every single time, if not every time. I have good enough special to tank 2 bubble beams. The only thing I'm really worried about is the fact that crit chance is based on the base speed of the type of Pokemon in this game, and Starmie's crit chance is something like 21%. It's very, very, very high. So I'm definitely scared. I win the first speed tie, which doesn't matter because we both have to get a second turn, and then she wins the second speed tie, the one that matters, and I am sweating my balls off. Like, I'm so scared that it's gonna crit, because that just ends the run right there. She didn't crit me. I was favored to win, even though I got a little unlucky by her winning the important speed tie. But I only lost 5 seconds on that split, because I matched really efficiently. It wasn't that bad outside of the rival fight, and we lived it. I was sweating really hard for that one. But the hardest fight in the game for our stat line is now dead, so we are clearly on 154 pace. We have 32 seconds to work with for 154 pace, because minus 120 is 154-ish. I don't know what my best Misty time is ever, but this is one of the best. So this Machop is, I want to say like 90% to die. And I got it, which I should have. But yeah. Yeah, Drowsy is guaranteed also. So this split is a little scary, because there's a lot of small things that can just tack on a medium amount of time loss to you without there being much you can do about it. You have to go through like a bit of grass without repels, because it's not optimal to buy them, because the chance you get an encounter is pretty low. And then the other thing is, obviously there's a bunch of quick attacks, and then there's the trash cans from Surge, and the Surge fight himself is very volatile also. But yeah, so I'm going to teach Bubble Beam here using the fast scroll technique, or I'm going to wait apparently until the SSN. I normally teach it there, but I know why I didn't. The reason I didn't Bubble Beam there is because I was thinking, all right, this is a super good run. I have a lot of time to work with to get 154. Okay, so I don't get an encounter here, which is really, really nice. So I'm thinking to myself, I may want to potion and super potion for Surge so that I'm full HP. I am really, really scared that if I'm not full HP, then I'll get screwed. The only thing Surge can really do to you is growl you so that your Thrash has to last 4 turns, which you can hurt yourself in confusion and then kill yourself, or use Mega Punch and Mega Kick, which don't do that much damage. But since Raichu is so fast, his crit chance is really high. I'm actually not quite sure what it is. Probably something like 20+%, maybe 22, 23. And he will do a lot of damage with crits. Talk about item management in yellow. Well, there's not too much to talk about yet, but when I get to my menu, the menu at the cut bush, I'll talk about some of the menuing techniques I'm going to do. But yeah, so I did get quick attack crit there, and now I'm at this kind of precarious HP where if I super potion, I'm only at 70 HP or so for Surge after I level up. So it's normally I would hate to potion here and then also super potion, but I decided I need to play safe. So this is the second mistake of the run right here. This is one of the worst mistakes in the run. So I actually only buy 6 super potions, and I'm thinking, ooh, do I really want to go back and buy one more? And the thing is that I actually wound up using that super potion. That super potion wound up making a difference. The one that I went back and bought absolutely made a difference in this run. So I made the right decision by covering my mistake with proper play. But I'm already skimpy on super potions because I like to buy more X items instead. So yeah, I do decide to potion here in this menu. So I potion and then hold down to fast scroll and then get to bubble beam right away. And we need to teach bubble beam before this fight, so it's important to get it in, just at any point where, you just want to make sure that you don't have to menu twice before this. Just menu once. So I waited until after all those fights with the quick attacks to decide if I wanted to potion or not, and also then super potion in the next menu. So yeah, I did decide that I wanted to play it very, very safe. So this rival fight is hilariously not threatening at all compared to Rival 2. Rival 2 is one of the fights I'm sweating the most in the game, and I have actually Gen 1 missed in this fight at 1 HP, and I still won. I still won. So yeah. Shoutouts to 5UP main for accidentally bubble beaming that Rattata and realizing that it dies and we could save super effective text from double kick. Shoutouts to my boy 5UP. Rest in peace. So yeah, the only reason we have to do this part of the game is for the cut HM to go to Vermilion. It's also worth noting that I could skip the Pokemon Center in Cerulean. I don't actually have to take it. But it sets my dig waypoint to wherever the last Pokemon Center I took is. And in order to turn in the bike voucher and also go to Rock Tunnel, I need to go back to Cerulean. So I have to take the center there so that I can dig from Vermilion back to Cerulean. And it also means that I can't take the center in Vermilion. So yeah, if you want to note this boat exit time, it is 48:19. I don't think there's ever been a sub 48 boat before. So that's one of the best boat times that we've ever seen. Yeah, we did get Sailor Kiss this run, Parkinson. If you guys noticed, when I was walking, the Sailor kind of moved forward and kissed me deeply with lots of tongue. So yeah. Nothing happened to 5UP, but he just has been busy with real life and not able to stream as much. But he's still my boy. Okay, so it actually doesn't matter when we get the bike voucher. In Pokemon Red, you have to get the bike voucher after Surge, because you can dig out of this house because you can't just dig anywhere. You have to be like in something to dig out. So in red, you have to do surge, then come here, get the bike voucher, and dig back to Cerulean. But there's another cool trick we do in yellow to dig, and I'll show you guys that. Well, I mean, obviously the run's gonna do it, but it'll be after surge. Okay, so watch carefully for this menu. I'm going to fast scroll by swapping slot 2, swap with repels, then teach an HM. And HM doesn't disappear when you teach it. So I'm still at the bottom of my menu. Then I'm going to go up to Super Potion Magneto-King, and then teach the Dig TM. Oh, actually, that's a mistake right there. I forgot about that mistake. That's the third mistake of the run. Is I did press up twice, but one of my up inputs got eaten, and I didn't go all the way to dig. I pressed on full restore. So once you run out of an item in your inventory, you go all the way back to the top of your menu. So I taught Dig TM last to be forced to go to the top of my menu, and I then toss Pokeballs because I need to have an exact number of items later, and I don't need Pokeballs anymore. So I'll explain that later. So these cans were not great, but I did get the can on the first try. It's worth noting that the first can can only be in one of 8 cans. And I got the 7th one, but on first try. So this surge fight in my PB was pretty bad. So even with that full restore mistake and that super, this was definitely the sloppiest split of the run. I lost less than 2 seconds to mistakes here, but that was one of the worst splits in the run. So that just shows you how well executed this run was. So he Growlithe bails, and then I get a crit, which is really nice. That fight was really, really good. I lost more time than I thought I would here. I don't really know where all of it went. I guess the cans just took a little longer than I thought. So if you guys remember those menu techniques, I'm going to talk about them again in a second, where if you run out of an item, like you use an item and it's your last one in the stack, then you go to the top of your menu. Just remember that. Also, there is no clicking on the cut bush in this game. You actually have to go into your menu. That was actually almost a perfect search fight. You have to go into your menu. So yeah, we walk over to Diglett Cave here and then dig out of Diglett Cave, which I think is really cool, and a cool part of the run. So we do go back to Cerulean, which I told you about. We set our waypoint here, and we're going to turn in the bike voucher. Now this menu is going to be fast scroll, swap slot 2 to put repel, or to put the bicycle at the top of our menu, because there's no register item in this game. You have to choose your bicycle from your menu every time you use it. But we're going to bring bicycle to the top and then use Thunderbolt. We do need the Thunderbolt TM soon. And by using the Thunderbolt TM, we now go all the way back to the top of our menu. And then, since we just swapped bike there, we can go ahead and use it right away. Really, really optimal menu. And then, obviously, we have to go into our Pokemon and cut the cut bush. And then cut another cut bush over here. But yeah, I think that's actually a skillful part of the game, is you actually have to like get on your bike. Like, you know, there's no select button or just click on the tree. Like, you actually have to do it, which makes the game like pretty menu intensive in a lot of ways. So this is one of the worst things that happens in the run, and it definitely did cost me 154 in the end. This, you guys remember before I was talking about a 3 or a 4 turn Thrash. And this is the only fight in the run where you're guaranteed to need a 4-turn Thrash, because the first Pokemon has a shit moveset, Oddish, and it doesn't die in one hit to Horn Attack. It can if you have Perfect Attack, but it's not likely. And then, Thrash is the only thing that one-shots everything. So this Bellsprout at the end of the fight has Wrap and Sleep Powder. His moveset is atrocious, because if you Thrash into Sleep Powder, then you're fucked, because you have to keep like auto thrashing into it. So I actually hurt myself in Confusion twice here, which is absolutely terrible, but I get 2 poison powders and then break out of Confusion. That was one of the worst things that happened in the run that I had no control over, but it could have been a lot worse. I could have lost minutes there. I did bonk into the wall there when I turned left. Small mistake. So this is a strat that I don't actually know who came up with, but we Thunderbolt the Caterpie when our attack isn't too good because it dies anyway. And then if we don't one-shot the Venonat, we can we have another turn of Thrash left, guaranteed. If we didn't, then we'd be needing a 4-turn Thrash. If you have perfect attack, it is better to just go ahead and Thrash right away, but yeah. Registering items came about in like the select button in Gen 2. So this is another mistake. I was like, oh shit, I am not hitting this hiker. So I take my time after I make that little movement error. I did make a few more small mistakes than I remembered, actually. In the mid parts, or the early mid parts of the run. So this rock tunnel, we obviously don't have time to go catch Pokemon, get Flash, teach Flash. It's just not worth it. So I do have rock tunnel memorized, and there's plenty of spots in rock tunnel where if I'm one tile off of where I should be, I hit an extra trainer, and then the run is over. So yeah. My special is only 7, so I think this second Slowpoke here is like a 95% damage range, and yeah, I did hit it. But it only has confusion, and its crit chance is only 2.8% because its speed is so low. So yeah, that was standard. So this fight is scary. I only have a 37% chance to one-shot this Oddish, and he has Stun Spore and Sleep Powder. And since you have to Thrash, you could be stuck in sleep for 4 turns without being able to heal it because you're stuck thrashing. So I'm sweating this fight really hard, and this is definitely the best crit of the run. I did crit the Oddish, which is super amazing. I could have lost a lot of time there. It's worth noting that even though the first fight of this split was absolutely terrible, everything else went perfectly. Like that Bulbasaur has a damage range too, something like 75-80% on this attack. So that was really good. So you'll notice that I'm repelling before my repel wears out. That's to avoid the pause in the text box that pops up. In later gens, you have to actually wait till it runs out, but in this game, so yeah, so I'll go ahead and repel again, even though I haven't taken that many steps. It'll last me all the way to the end of Rock Tunnel. These Geodudes have self-destruct, so if I Gen 1 miss, I could die, but otherwise, it's fine. So yeah, there's not too much going on left in this part of Rock Tunnel. There's trainer here, trainer there. Like if you're off by 1 step, you hit a trainer, but you know, just don't fuck up. If you can bonk into the walls to assure that you don't hit the trainers, but I don't do that. So yeah, Thrash still going in at this part in the game. We're still a bit over leveled. The game expects you to. No, it refreshes the repel to max duration. It doesn't add steps. If it added steps, we'd just use all 3 right away, man. So this is a sub 59 Rock Tunnel, which is incredible. 58:44, just an incredible time, really. One of the best I've seen. Again, speedrunners have little like mental splits, and that's one of mine because it's Rock Tunnel. It's a really good one. I actually was considering putting a split there. And for all the people trying to, talk to me in chat, this is, my commentary video, so I'm trying not to respond to too many things that aren't about the run. I do get Growlithe there, which is really nice. That is a damage range. He can burn you, in which case you have to buy a burn heal, which is really annoying. And you'd have to sacrifice something else because you'll see I have very little money left. So this is kind of a staple of Pokemon speedruns. We're about to go visit Celadon Mart because there's a lot of items I'm going to buy there. I've been saving all my money, basically, including some of the money from the beginning of the game. But yeah, this is another difficult part of the run. I have to pick up 2 items in this tunnel with like very little visual cues. And I do it perfectly in this run because I practiced it a lot. But yeah, I do save about half a second by getting them from above and below. This was almost sub 1 hour tunnel. That tunnel. That's crazy. That's really crazy, actually. Okay, so I'm going to buy a bunch of X items. I'm going to buy TMs. I'm going to buy super potion or super repels. I'm going to buy drinks to give the TM bitch. Buying a lot of stuff here. This was run 13,935. So yeah, we're going to sell our nuggets that we picked up. Those are worth a ton of money. And now we have 24K and tons of X items. I will talk about more about these X items as we go on, but it's worth noting that in this run, I bought 2 extra X speeds and 1 extra X special, and I only wound up having to use 1 of those. I have no money to spare either, but I have 2 extra X speeds I buy, so I could just not get an X speed and buy a burn heal instead. So I should have waited and gone all the way to the left and then gone down there. I bonked into her, but it's hard to react to. So we get TM13, which is Ice Beam, and then TM48, which is Rock Slide. The Ice Beam is integral to the run, but Rock Slide is only to deal with Ghastlies, and because they have super high special, and special counts as special attack and special defense in this game. So yeah. I will use every single item I buy here except for the extra X speed and the extra X special. Every single item I buy here will be used, and you'll notice that when I'm done buying things, I'll have exactly $84 left. So the run is very optimized as far as like what you can spend money on. $84 Poke dollars left over. So now we're going to do one of the biggest menu in the whole run. This menu is going to involve all of the menuing techniques we've talked about, swapping items to the bottom, teaching moves to get back to the top. I'm going to be swapping my X items to the top of my menu because I don't want to have to scroll for them often since I use them so many times. Well, when you buy an item, it auto defaults you back to the top of the menu. That's why. So we're going to swap Helix, which is useless, down for Super Repel, something we'll use 10 times. And then teach an HM. And HM stays in our inventory when we teach it, so we're still at the bottom of our menu. We teach Horn Drill then, which is, we only have 1 of. And that brings us back to the top of our menu. Then we're going to go down and swap another item that we need in the 3rd slot, X Accuracy, something we'll use 10 times. Then use a TM and teach it to get back to the top of our menu. Again, this is Ice Beam over Bubble Beam. Then we are going to use the Super Repel because we're about to go into Lavender Tower, and then swap the 4th slot in our inventory for another item that we're going to use a lot, X Speed. Then this Rock Slide actually is just because we're already near it. We don't need to go to the top of our menu again. Rock Slide over Horn Attack. And then we fly back to Lavender to do the tower. I only buy 7 super potions now. That allows me to buy 10x accuracy, 8x speed, 3x attacks, and 6x specials. That is 2 extra x speeds and 1 extra x special. The extra X special, okay, that was a good menu. That was a very good menu. The extra X special allows me to skip the skip the Elite Four center more often, because if I'm at an HP around 60 to 70 and I don't want a super potion, I can just X special on turn 1 on Lorelei, survive whatever attack she uses, or if she just uses rest, I X-ack on turn 2 anyway. She's 80% to rest on turn 2, so that is a lot more consistent for skipping the center, and will save you probably around 8 to 9 seconds on average if over not having it. Well, I buy 7 supers, 10 X-ack. I buy 5 Pokeballs, 6 potions, 7 supers, 7 supers, 10 X-ack, 8x speed, 3x attack, and 6x special on one run. There's also a couple other places where you can use the extra X special, but it's not too well applicable. So you guys may be wondering, why is Horn Drill hitting every time, Gunnermaniac 3? What the fuck did you just do, you hacker? Well, if you notice, before the fight, I used an extra, or not an extra, an X accuracy. In later gens, X accuracy raises your accuracy by 1 stage, but in Gen 1, X accuracy removes an accuracy check completely. So if you use 1 X accuracy, your Horn Drill will hit until you die, the fight ends, or you switch out. Now, that includes, getting sand attacked and such, because it's skipping an accuracy check, so it doesn't matter how low your accuracy is. There is no accuracy when you X accuracy. It's worth noting that things like X speed and X special cost 350, X attack costs 500, but X accuracy costs 950. So it's a big investment. It's where most of our money goes. If we buy 10 of them, you know, that's like 10K, more than that, I think. So it's a lot. The only requirement that you need after you X accuracy is that Horn Drill will be unaffected if you are slower than the Pokemon you're using it against. It will never hit, regardless of accuracy. So in later gens, that criteria is changed to you need to be higher level rather than you need to be faster. But in this game, you just need to be faster. So yeah, sometimes we have to X speed too, or use another strat to become faster than every Pokemon in the fight. So yeah, I'm getting a little lightheaded from talking so much, but it's worth it. I'm enjoying this commentary a lot more than I thought I would, actually, because I get to rewatch my run and see my mistakes. So really, this run has had like 3 very minor mistakes, and then like 2 very minor movement mistakes so far. Yes, the X accuracies are over 9,000. So yeah, all these Ghastlies have Lick, Nightshade, and Confuse Ray, and Rock Slide has a 90% accuracy. So even though Rock Slide fucking sucks and misses a lot, and we get kind of screwed for it, there's no other move that you can really get that deals with the Ghastlies well. Like Thunderbolt and Bubble Beam and Ice Beam don't even 2-shot, and sometimes they won't even 3-shot. What is it like when you're buying with Vaporeon strats? When buying 7 supers, how often do you take E4 shop or E4 center? For Vaporeon strats, I just take out I don't know what I do for Vaporeon strats. I think I just don't buy any extra X items at all. Like, I take out extra... Okay, hold on. First of all, we're swapping Potion for X Special and then Pokédoll. That was a decent menu. I took it safely, so I didn't swap the wrong item. So yeah, when I'm on Vaporeon strats, I just don't buy X Speed or X Special extra. You have to not buy any of them, because 350, 350, 350 is enough for an extra X accuracy. So that's why we hate Vaporeon strats, because you can't get an extra X Speed or any extra X Special. So yeah, we got the free heal, so we got all our Horn Drill PP back. So we're gonna go ahead and X accuracy and kill and do this fight. It's definitely the fastest since we don't have Earthquake yet. And oh yeah, for those of you who are wondering, the Pokédoll does allow you to skip the Marowak without having Self Scope, so you don't have to do the Underground. That is not considered a glitch. It is a sequence break, because the Pokédoll is fulfilling its intended purpose of allowing you to run from an encounter. So yeah, that is allowed in a glitchless speedrun. Vaporeon strats is when you lose the first rival fight and the rival gets Vaporeon instead of Flareon. So in my PB, I had red bar here and got 2 jingle skips, but I did not in this run. But my menus were really crisp, so I didn't even wind up losing as much time as those jingle skips saved. So this was a really good split, even though I lost like 4 seconds. Maybe it was exactly 4 seconds. No, 3.8. Okay, so here we're going to use the waypoint trick again, where we set our waypoint to Celadon. We don't actually have to take the center, but Celadon is very central to a lot of the game that we're going to be doing, and we can use these horn attacks. So we're going to heal here in Celadon, and this allows us to dig out of places, and as such come back to Celadon, which is where we'll be needing to be a lot. So yeah, that is very much worth it. We had picked up an extra freshwater, obviously, earlier for the guard. So I'm going to do a little trick here called elevator fast scroll. It's pretty difficult to do for how little time it saves, but if you're already holding down when you interact with the elevator, you'll instantly start scrolling, and then that allows you to save a little skip. And then I got right to floor 10. That was very, very fast. Okay, so in the next fight, Sandslash has Slash, and we need to set up 2 X items on him. If you guys remember, we need an X accuracy and an X speed because we're not faster than everything in that fight, and we need our horn drills to hit. Actually, we are faster than everything you need to horn drill, but whatever. No, because if I put music from the game, then my voice from the run will be in there. So. We X accuracy here. We get low kick from the Machoke. Okay, so my defense is really good and my HP is really good too. So I'm thinking I still have enough HP to tank 2 slashes, assuming I need to. And I did have enough HP, unless the Sand Slash like high rolled me twice. So yeah, I'm in a good spot. I was thinking about maybe super potioning it off, but upon checking the damage ranges, I would have had to get really unlucky to die to 2 slashes. I mean, he would have had to use slash twice, you know? Like, that's super unlucky. So we're going to swap our last X item up here, X attack. That was a fine menu, just a little slow. But, like, I realize how ahead I am, so I don't want to make any mistakes at all. I'm taking my menus very carefully, but still not losing very much time at all on them. Just, like, being meticulous, if you will. It's also worth noting that moves that have moves that have an increased crit ratio, like Razor Leaf or Slash, actually have an 8 times multiplier attached to crit chance. And since crit chances are so high in this game, because crit chance is based on base speed, you generally get a lot of Pokemon that have 100% chance to crit with Razor Leaf or Slash, and Sandslash is no exception. Sandslash has a 100% chance to crit with Slash, even though his speed is not that high. It's like very average, and his crit chance isn't that high. But, which is also interesting, if you guys remember that I was talking about a Gen 1 miss, you can actually Gen 1 miss a crit. If you have a 100% chance to crit, then you can not crit 1 in 256 times while using like one of those Slash or Razor Leaf or Karate Chop type moves. So that's really interesting. That's actually never happened to me before. I've never gotten the Gen 1 miss crit, but I have seen it. Others get it. So this rival fight is definitely dangerous. And you'll notice I walk away from the rival here. It's so that he has a direct path to the teleporter. Even though I have to take extra steps to set this up, the rival moves much more slowly than me and would have had to take many more steps than me all the way around me out to the teleporter. So yeah, that's why we set it up that way. So we're going to X accuracy first here, and that allows us to hit our horn drills, and then X speed to be faster than Kadabra, and we get Sand Attack Swift, no Slash, which is really nice because Slash does like 50 damage, and that allows you to Oh, that allows me to not have to potion that much later. Though I do wind up having to potion for a really, really dumb reason, and you guys will get to see that soon. It was really stupid. So, oh god, all the donations. I forgot about this. Fuck, that's annoying. It's like halfway cut off onto the screen. Oh well. So the reason I chose to Earthquake Kadabra here is that's the only Pokemon I can one-shot with Earthquake in this fight without producing super effective text, so it's optimal to do it there, even though I have to swap down to Earthquake and then back up to Horndrill. Yeah, there was a lot of donations. This is going to be a little annoying, but oh well. So we have two options to pick up for our Strength and Surf Slave. We choose Lapras in this run because because Lapras only knows 2 moves instead of 3. Squirtle is less text originally to pick up, but because you have to override a move for either Strength or Surf, which it winds up being more text. So it's maybe 3 seconds faster to pick up Lapras rather than Squirtle. So I'm sitting really pretty right now. This split has been going really well. I'm at a really high HP. I have a good bit of time to work with. There's still more time to save in this run, especially on Agatha. I really feel like I can get 154 in this run, and I'm playing around it the whole time. From this point forward. Well, from all points forward. But okay, so this is a fight that we used to X accuracy and X speed on, but then I discovered that you could be faster than most everything in this fight while also one-shotting it with just X attack. And that allows us to horn drill more stuff more efficiently. So yeah, you see I fast scrolled down to X attack. I got guard spec from him, so that was really good. That Nidorino has Fury attack, and he has a 1 in 4 chance to use guard spec instead of using a move. So that was really nice. And this Persian has Growl, but I got another guard spec, which is 1 in 16 for 2 of them. And yeah, Growl was really bad there. But this is probably one of the most stupid things that happens in the run, because this winds up making me have to heal. So you guys remember that Gen 1 miss I was talking about, right? Well, Earthquake has a 100% chance to hit, but wait, what? Am I retarded? Was that a different run? I could have sworn I Gen 1 missed in this run. I could have sworn. Oh well, I guess I've been doing too much Pokemon Yellow recently. I could have sworn I Gen 1 missed there. Like, I believed with all my heart that I Gen 1 missed. Alright, whatever. Yeah, I've played too many runs recently, I guess. I can't believe I made that mistake. But that's okay. I've fucked up worse than that before, man. No, it wasn't the last gym. If you Gen 1 miss in the last gym, you're fucking dead. But you generally, the only place you can Gen 1 miss is on the Doug trio, and then everything else you have X accuracy set up for. Okay, so that was on a different run. All right, so we have to pick up the rare candy on a specific tile and not hit that trainer. One time my Game Boy died right there, and then I hit that trainer on world record pace. That was really stupid. But yeah. The donations, though. It's in such an annoying place on the. It's like halfway. No, there's not a highlight of that though. I should have highlighted it for sure. I was pissed. I think I kept going too. I was only like plus 30 after hitting that trainer. Smutty mid. Okay, so if you guys remember in the tunnel before... Oh, I forgot to talk about Gen 1, or jingle skipping the full restore, but whatever. If you guys remember, I picked up a full restore on the way to Vermilion City coming from Cerulean earlier. So I still have a full restore in my inventory. So I'm going to pick up another full restore, and I actually wind up using every single healing item in this run. So this commentary is going to go on YouTube, and this video is already on YouTube. So yeah, pick up the extra full restore there. It's really, really nice. Really, really nice to have that full restore. And like I said, I do use every single healing item I get this game, or in this run. So here I'm going to repel and then move my cursor back to bike. You'll notice, even though I don't use it. That's because when I dig on my next menu, I'm going to dig out, and then I'm going to be in solid on, and then I'm going to want to use my bike. If you hold A and then hold B when you open your menu, you'll automatically use whatever your cursor is on right away. So I'm setting up for using that fast menuing technique by putting my cursor on bike before exiting the menu. Yeah, I'm enjoying this commentary a lot. I'll try to... This is the only run I've been happy enough with to commentate, though. So yeah, you'll see here I instantly bike, and that's why I set that up. I'm using a Game Boy SP as a controller, by the way, this, if anyone was wondering. Someone said that's smart in my chat, and I'm trying to remember what I was talking about so I can sound smart again. Oh, I think it was, I was talking about like why we do Safari first and then like going down to Erica and then flying back to Koga and stuff. Okay, so this is the first spot that this cool little thing is going to come into play. So in Gen 1, you can only have 20 items in your bag. That includes SS Ticket, that includes Bike, that includes HMs, that includes everything. But if you have exactly 20 items in your bags, then the gym leaders will, instead of giving you their TM, having a jingle for it, and then explaining it with a bunch of text boxes, they'll just say, sorry, you have no room for this. So you have to have exactly 20 items for every gym leader that you possibly can, which is every gym leader after Solid On, Erica, Koga, Sabrina, Blaine, and Giovanni. But, okay, I knew I took damage somewhere. So that fucking asshole, Tangela, crit me with Mega Drain, which is the most possible damage it can do to me, which sets up me having to Super Potion here. And so I'm met with a really annoying decision. So I'm at this HP where Hypno can critical me with Confusion and I'll die. But if he just uses regular Confusion, then I'll have to heal again. So if I heal right here in this menu, then I am playing around not getting Confusion at all. But if I don't heal at all, then he can crit me with the Confusion and I'll die. So it's a really interesting decision, like where I have to heal here, and I'm really sweating this decision because I have 20 seconds to play with right now to be on 154 pace, and so I really don't, like, I'm trying to figure out where I want to heal. Like, I've only died to Hypno, the one that has Confusion, twice ever, and it was both on the same day, and one of them was to confusion, not to crit. So I've almost never died to him before, because he has 3 other moves that aren't confusion. He has disable, he has poison gas, he has headbutt, which does like fucking 12 damage, and then he has confusion, which does like, 50. So getting crit by him would kill me at this HP, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm going to have to super potion for Koga anyway. He's not going to give me fucking confusion. It's going to save a really small amount of time, even if I do wind up having to super potion twice in one menu instead of once here and then once after. So I do decide to pussy out and potion before the Hypno, because I have to potion before Koga anyway. So it's like, like, I'm still deciding, like, as I'm walking right here, I'm like, do I fucking heal? Do I fucking heal? Am I a pussy? Am I a pussy? And yeah, I'm a pussy. I'm a pussy. I do heal it off. But I think that was the correct play, though I should have used that super potion in the menu that I used fly if I was going to do that. It saves a minor amount of time, and I still got to have more time to think about the fact that I was truly making the right decision. Like, sometimes it's okay to make sure you make the right decision and lose, a extremely minor amount of time, like less than half a second. That's why we play frame perfectly. So annoyingly, I do not crit this Hypno, but he does give me a fine move. So yeah, as long as it's not confusion, that, what does this do? 12, it does exactly 12 damage. That's funny. My defense is really good, so yeah, but it did exactly as much damage as I said it would. I swear to God, I didn't remember. That pussy play lost you a menu open and close? Yeah, well, I just said that, basically. So Koga's scary. Koga has Sleep Powder. Koga can lower your special with Psychic. He can do a lot of stuff, but I get Sleep Powder miss, and I'm like freaking out right now, because that's amazing, because that means I no longer have any chance to die unless he uses Psybeam, and it confuses me, which is only a 5% chance. So I set up my X speed for the Venomoth. Oh yeah, I horn drill that first Venonat because the second one doesn't have Sleep Powder, but the first one does. I do get crit by the Venonat there, and Special Fall, which is scary. But that matters less than you'd think, because I was going to skip my Mom heal, which is basically like a fast Pokemon Center, but now I just won't skip it. And it really doesn't lose that much time at all to just go ahead and take the Mom heal. It would have been more optimal to be able to skip it, but I wind up skipping the Elite Four Center anyway, which I wouldn't have been able to do if I did skip this one. So it worked out just fine in this run. I lost 5 seconds to having to Super Potion and not critting Hypno, PB crit Hypno. See, make room for this child. He doesn't give me Toxic TM because my bag is full, which is really important to manipulate your bag to have exactly 20 items. And that's one reason why I had to toss the Pokeball early in the run, because I need to have exactly 20 items, and I need a lot of items. X items, bicycle, key items, and, we're not depositing anything, so there's a lot that goes into it. No, it's not a jingle skip. I don't get a jingle skip on Sabrina, but I do get faster text from the but it failed. I get 2 flash fails, I think. Dude, I am talking too much. It's hard to like just stream like talking this whole time. I'm out of breath and a little lightheaded. So yeah, in this run I was like, oh my god, guys, I forgot to heal for Sabrina, the psychic gym leader. She's gonna fuck me now. But in reality, you have this is the only fight one of the only fights in the game where you have absolutely no chance to die if you don't make a mistake. Impossible to die. Flash fail into flash fail. Really nice. PB got a jingle skip here, but I didn't need it. I lost almost no time because I got double flash fail, played nearly frame perfectly, and had red bar for the first 2 Pokemon. My whole chat is like, you scared the shit out of me, man. Why you do that, man? Scaring the fuck out of me. So yeah, that fight is completely free because you can't, like, the Abra only has flash and you set up X accuracy and X speed, so there's literally nothing that can go wrong because you can't Gen 1 miss while you have X accuracy active. And you see, your pack is full of other items because we have 20 items. I think Worcester's the one who originally routed the 20 items. I mean, there was just more potential for time saved, Dinkelman. I didn't really lose time too much. So yeah, this is Mom Heal. Nice and fast. So we're going to repel here, and then this is where Lapras is faster than Squirtle because we're going to teach him Strength and Surf, and we don't have to override any moves to do it. And then we're going to use rare candies, our whole rare candy stack. And then that allows us to get to the top of our menu. If you guys remember, I run out of the items, so I go automatically to the top of my menu, and then Bicycle. This bitch was nice enough to move out of the way in a pattern that I've never actually seen before, but yeah. So yeah. Move, bitch. Get out the way. So yeah, I mean, nothing to talk about there. Just surfing down to Cinnabar Island optimally. So, if you don't know, Repel only works on Pokemon that are lower level than you. And that's one reason that we used our rare candies when we did, to be higher than the encounters in the Cinnabar Mansion. Unfortunately, there is one pesky encounter that still manages to be a higher level than us, and it's one that we can't effectively be higher level than. It's a fairly rare encounter. You'll only see one, probably 1 in 5 runs. And it's Raticate, level 46. Now, this is really, really, really unfortunate, and I had no control over it. And seeing as encounters here take about 11 to 11.5 seconds because of the pause that you get due to like being on this tiled floor or whatever, I am fairly confident that Raticate cost me 154. Which is really, really frustrating because I'm very pleased with my play in this run, and I do believe that I made all the right decisions and that I deserve to get the 154 in this run. But obviously, I'm happy enough with the run, how it turned out anyway, that I am commentating over it because I've never done like a true commentary like this before because I've never been like happy with my run ever. So we pick up more rare candies, ironically. They wouldn't even have made us be able to miss that Raticate encounter because we'd be exactly 46. But now our inventory is full. It's worth noting that getting that encounter did reset my cursor to Pokedex and to Nidoking. So I was able to fast scroll and then just not have to change from Lapras to Nidoking. I just spam A. And then we pick up the secret key. Our items are at 20 again. And then dig out. The place we dig doesn't matter here because we have to fly back to Cinnabar anyway. And no, taking the Pokemon Center in Cinnabar first is not faster. I timed it. So you can press B here to say no. Thomas just asked me, why not rare candy early to avoid Raticates? Silly, silly Thomas. So yeah, I'm not saying yes to all of these. You can press B to say no. I assume that test also accounted for Mom Heal. Yes. It takes a long time to surf down there and then to surf back up. Can you talk about gym order? Yeah, I mean, the gym order isn't too... Like, the main reason that we do Koga before Sabrina is that every 4 of the gym leaders give you a badge boost. There's attack, speed, special, and defense. Koga says that he gives you a defense badge boost, which is 9/8 to your defense, but he's actually lying. He gives you a speed badge boost, and Surge, who said he gives you speed, gives you defense, which is completely stupid, you know. But doing Koga first allows us to get the speed badge boost and then only have to X speed once on Sabrina at the cost of about 1 second of extra movement, so it's worth it. Erica first, just because, you know, she's easy. It doesn't really matter. Blaine last because he is threatening and we need to use our red candies at a specific spot. So I'm really worried here. Like, this fight is really scary. You can get burned. You can get confused. And she does give me flamethrower. I'm freaking out. Like, because if I get burned, I'm fucked. But I do get no burn flamethrower, and then the fight's over because X attacks badge boost leads me to having enough speed to be faster than everything here. I mean, even if you used all those rare candies, you'd still be the same level as the Eradicate, so you wouldn't avoid it. So this is like the same exact split as PV, basically, except for Flamethrower. But I just played a little better, I guess. Can dig out of here, which is nice. And then we have all the badges except for one, so we can go to Viridian and do what is one of the hardest fights in the game. I do need to Super Potion before Giovanni because Dugtrio can one-shot me from where I am currently. But I have to wait for the Machokes because the Machokes could do enough damage to me to where I would be forced to potion again, and I'm in no danger of dying to them currently, so there's no reason not to wait. Yeah, we used to get level 49 Onyxes when we were level 49 in the tunnel. Obviously that fight is free. So this is a strat that I had originally come up with Danny Ray. We basically realized that if you X special here on this fight, it allows you to Ice Beam the Machop and then Earthquake the Machokes for no damage range in most cases. But in this case, something really special happens. So Blaine gives you the special badge boost, and I got Leered, and every time your stats drop or raise, your other stats that you have the badge boosts for have their badge boost reapplied. So I got another 9/8 to special, and I X specialed. So when you get Leer hit, you're actually able to Ice Beam, which is a shake animation instead of a flash. So I saved a good bit of time there by being able to, over almost 2 seconds, by being able to Ice Beam them. And I had just enough special to guarantee the damage range. I think actually it may have been like a 97% damage range. So yeah, I do realize that I have to Super Potion to live through Dugtrio's attack. If you guys remember, one-hit KO moves only work if you're faster than the Pokemon you're using it against. And that's why, I know you guys can't see it, but my chat is spamming Fissure. Because the first turn against Dugtrio, I'm going to use an X speed, and that's going to make me faster than him. So if he fissures, it'll never work, and then I can take him out. Dugtrio has one of the highest speeds in the game. His crit chance is almost 25%. It's like 23 or 0.4 or something, 24.2, something like that. So he has Earthquake and Dig, and if those crit, they both one-shot me. So I'm sweating it really hard. But the X speed into Fissure strat works, and we take one of the most threatening Pokemon in the game out. Now, this Persian screws me a bit. It's actually really annoying. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I got a perfect fight, dude. Whatever. Just don't listen to anything I'm saying. It's really hard to separate all the runs I've had in the past few days, I guess. But, no. Perfect Giovanni fight. Get shit on. We got 3 guard specs out of 4 that run, and the other one was fissure. So our Giovannis were just amazing this run. This is the first time I'm watching this run back. Also, I think it's worth noting that I haven't made a mistake in like an hour, basically. Yeah, it's been a really, really long time since No, Doug Trio can give you the guard spec, and he gave me fissure instead, which is probably faster by a bit. I missed that stat skip because I was so nervous and spamming. Yeah, saving 2 seconds on Blaine and Giovanni was really nice. Those are splits where you just don't want to lose time, and I actually saved a decent bit, so. Yeah, I saved all the time back, basically, that I had from Erica. So I'm going into the Elite Four with 19 seconds to work with, and I have a free 35-second time save on Agatha if I don't get fucked. I don't have to heal here because I didn't take any damage from Giovanni. So that's really nice. Okay, it's also worth noting that it is faster to drop an item, pick up max ether, and use it than it is to take the Pokemon Center. However, if you have to use potions for Lorelei, then it's not faster. Also, I fast curled like all my X items this run. It's really nice to see that I got more confident doing that. So I got a 3-turn Fury Swipe. That was absolutely the worst possible situation there, because if Sandslash had slashed me, I would have just X specialed on Lorelei to live through her attack instead of potioning, which is actually a really cool strat that Xarian kind of helped me think through. He had originally thought up the idea for red, and suggested I try it for yellow, and it worked really well. So I've changed my money routing and stuff to buy an extra X special to set up for that. So Slash would have been faster than 3-turn Fury Swipes, and it wouldn't even have changed the run because I just would have had to X special on Lorelei. But yeah. The starting point of being ahead by 130. I mean, I was ahead by like almost 2 minutes coming out of Mount Moon. So my early splits are just really bad. Is the thing, and I kept up the pace. So that fight is pretty simple. There's nothing really that can go wrong except getting Fury Swiped, which happened. But I got the 3-turn, so that's not too bad. So in this menu, I'm going to toss TM34 because I still have 20 items, but I need to pick up Max Ether so that I can heal my my horn drills off. Yeah, so I don't really make any more mistakes from here on out. So I went like the second half of the run is completely mistakeless, and I made 3 very minor errors and then like 2 movements, like small movement errors, and then that was it for the whole run. So the mistakes in this run were extra steps for the rare candy in Mount Moon. I accidentally bought 6 super potions and then had to buy a 7th super potion after that because I actually did wind up. You guys remember I told you about that I used every single healing item that I bought, and that is going to come into play at Lance, so pay attention there. And then, so yeah, I took extra steps for rare candy. I super potioned. I didn't buy enough super potions, then had to rebuy. And then the last small mistake I made was I didn't go 2 up from super potion to dig in the cut bush menu. I went 1 up to full restore and clicked on it. So yeah, those 3 mistakes probably cost me... let's think. Probably about 3.4, 3.8, somewhere around there seconds. My minor movement errors probably cost me about 1 second. So this run had less than 5 seconds of mistakes. So I'm very, very pleased with my play in this run. Lots of good mashing, lots of stat skips, lots of B hold clears, stuff like that. So yeah, but probably less than 5 seconds of mistakes in this run. I'm really, really happy with that. Also, this victory road was literally perfect. You level up before Jinx anyway, so there's no, you wouldn't even be faster than Jinx from X Special. X Special is only for when you don't want to use super potions and on Lorelei, and you want to skip the center. Every fucking run, someone asks me, is your speed DV good enough for Agatha? And every time my speed DV is good enough, I say, now remember, guys, the strat only works on perfect speed. Someone always asks, though. Wait, what strats is that, Decon? Are you buying less Pokeballs? Because you still wouldn't be able to get 10-8-3-6 if you bought that. I don't have donations turned on right now because this is my commentary run. So yeah, if you do perfect movement, your repel doesn't wear out there. It's got like 1 step left on it. So you'll notice here I strength, and then I super repel, hold down to fast scroll, use my max ether, which is the only one in the stack on horn drill, and then I'm reset to the top of my menu and bike. So yeah. Oh, selling TM34? Fuck that. Fuck that. So yeah, now I'm skipping the Elite Four Center, which my PB also did. And I'm losing a bit of time here because I got 3-turn Fury Swipe, and I also picked up Max Ether and had to toss an item for it. So I'm not worried about that at all. That was to be expected. It's much faster to skip the center than it is to not pick up Max Ether when I'm at high HP like I am. I do have enough HP to tank Lorelei's Bubble Beam or Aurora Beam without a crit, obviously. Crit kills. And I decide that I have enough healing items and that I definitely don't need to take the center. I set up for it so I can just go right in after depositing all my Pokemon. The timing for this game ends when we see our in-game time, and for every Pokemon you have in your party, there's a Hall of Fame cutscene, so it is definitely faster by maybe 8 seconds or so, 6 to 8 seconds to deposit all of your Pokemon rather than letting them play the Hall of Fame cutscene. So there's no revive strats or anything. You get one chance here. So this Bubble Beam or this Aurora Beam, if it crits me, I'm dead. I really wanted rest there, but I didn't get it. It's unfortunate that it only did that much damage. I don't actually really know exactly how much damage it was. If I buy 6 pots of 5 balls, 8 supers, I could still get 1 extra X speed on Flareon strats. Yes, but only 1. And no extra X special or no 2 extra X speed. And with the new like Lance strats and or some other stuff, you really want to have as many as possible. So I don't get a jingle skip there. That's why it was unfortunate. Okay, so here I am, right? I have a lot of healing items. I have 2 full restores and 4 super potions, and I'm thinking to myself, Ice Punch crit can kill me here. The maximum roll for Ice Punch was, I believe, 36 from here. Okay, so I actually forget to split here, but I did save 2 seconds on Lorelei there, just from better play than PB. So I do go ahead and decide to full restore since I'm already in my menu, and it sets up a reset later, top menu reset later. So yeah. Yeah, I decided to play it really safe and avoid the chance for Ice Punch critical. Chance for Ice Punch critical is like fucking like 2% or something, 3% maybe. I don't know. Stop trying to buy 9 supers. 9 supers is dumb. Extra X speed is significantly better than just having to buy full restores. So this is the Ice Puncher, but we get double team, so nice Bruno. PB had red bar here and got 2 jingle skips. Didn't have to heal either. So that's why I'm going to lose from 139 to, like, I'm going to lose like 10 seconds here because PB had that. So it's not a big deal. I know I have a big time save on Agatha. Like, I literally can save 35 seconds on Agatha. And remember, minus 120 is 154, basically. It's not a safe 154, but it should be a 154. I actually lost 12 seconds there. So this really fucking sucks, and this absolutely cost me a world record. I got world record. It absolutely cost me 154, which was my goal time. 154 is incredibly hard to get in this game. To play this well on this good of pace with a good Nidoran is really, really difficult. I actually played amazingly. I'm so happy with it. But so we X speed here, and we get the move that we actually really wanted to see, but she paralyzes me. Paralyze cuts my speed in half. Even after you heal the paralyze off, and this is why extra X speed is good, because I full restore to heal the paralysis off, and then I X speed again. And you remember I set up that top menu, so I got to save like a couple inputs there. So this is scary because the Golbat does have Supersonic, and I'm really needing to not get Supersonic. He does use Supersonic, but it fails. Scared out of my fucking mind there. So that definitely cost me world record because I had to full restore off the paralyze and then X speed to clear the speed fall that he gave me. So I played the fight correctly and well and recovered into a chance to have a 154 really, really well. I think, and I'm at a high amount of HP too. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about when I said that buying that extra super potion. No, full restore doesn't. Healing the paralysis does not remove the speed drop in Gen 1. You have to use an X speed again to get rid of it. Or if you level. But yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, we have these new strats for Giovanni, or not for Giovanni, for Lance, right? Where we're looking to set up on the second Dragonair if our stats aren't quite good enough to tank Hydro Pump and Hyper Beam, and my stats are not good enough to tank them. So yeah, you see I saved 15 seconds there. I could have saved another 20 though. Just without getting paralyzed. Like if I didn't get paralyzed and the fight went the same way, I would have saved another 20 seconds. So it's really annoying. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm going to elixir now and check how many supers I have because I need to have enough super potions to heal to full HP after the fight. And I realize that I do indeed have enough super potions to heal to full for the fight. So this was one of the key plays of the run because I used my super potion to heal 15 HP there, which might not seem like a lot, but it sets up for me to use my X speed on the second Dragonair because I realized that my special isn't good enough to tank Hydro Pump plus Hyper Beam, but it is enough to tank Hydro Pump plus Ice Beam from the second Dragonair. So I heal off that HP to become full HP. I don't get the Hydro Pump miss. Hydro Pump miss is 20% and would have been guaranteed world record, by the way. Oh, by the way, I'm having like major heart palpitations and my hands are really numb and I'm getting a little fuzzy headed and like I can't feel my legs at all. Like I'm freaking the fuck out. So shoutouts to Xarian for these strats. We just go ahead and kill this first Dragonair because it has 50-50 to use Hyper Beam, which would one-shot me from 48. And this Dragonair will only ever use Ice Beam and Bubble Beam, which have no chance to kill me without critting. So You'll see I get dropped really low here, and I'm really worried about the 1 in 4 chance to speed fall, but I don't get the speed fall, and I'm like hyperventilating at this point because I know I'm on 154 pace. My Exarian strat paid off. I actually did not have to super potion, but it was a damage range. I would have lived. Yeah, it has Ice Beam and Bubble Beam. So yeah, Exarian strat definitely helped me with this run. He looked into this for me and helped me come up with backup strats. I was just YOLOing the Dragonair previously, which is perfectly good in some cases. So yeah, I could have saved, a lot more time there. But you remember I used my full restores now completely because I had to get rid of the paralysis, and I chose to heal at Bruno. I used my 4th super potion to heal before this fight, and now I have exactly enough super potions to heal to full for this fight, or near full. So I played my healing items perfectly, and I accidentally full screened there, so extra proof that it's console. But yeah, I played my healing items in this Elite 4 overall perfectly, and my PB froze Sand Slash, so I'm guaranteed to lose about 23 seconds here, which means that my in time is looking to be 121. So if this fight goes well, this should be 154. I played to my outs. I made less than 5 seconds of mistakes. New strats helped me to make appropriate risk taking and healing item management, and I managed my time and risks perfectly. So I'm scared as fuck that this is gonna crit, and I'm confident at this point that this should be 154. I'm literally like, my heart is like ding 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 ding, like I'm freaking the fuck out here because I really think that I'm gonna get it. I am faster than Alakazam with no Carbos because of exactly 12 dB speed. Any less than I would have had to pick up Carbos. Also, with 15 DB defense, I didn't get put into red bar for Pokeflip, but it wouldn't have saved me. The special DB was 7. I've said that like a million times. But this Executor has Leech Seed and Hypnosis, and he gives me Hypnosis, and it hits. And this costs me 154. Hypnosis in the final fight. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible, because without this Hypnosis, I actually would have had 154. He has 50-50 to use it, and then like it's really even more annoying because the Leech Seed only has a 10% chance to fail, and I got Leech Seed miss instead of Hypnosis miss, and Hypnosis has 55% chance to hit. So the Hypnosis cost me 154, and it's really frustrating because I played to my outs, and I really feel I deserved it with this run. But there is no justice, unfortunately. I'm really glad you saw the world record's 5%. So yeah, you see the minus 120 get passed up. An in time of 15639 should be 154, and my in time is 15649. I missed 154 by 10 seconds after making less than 5 seconds of mistakes in this run and playing optimally as far as risk-taking, healing item management, and a few other things that I have control over. So I'm really, really happy with my play in this run, and I don't know if I'm going to continue. I don't know if I'm going to continue running this game. For now, I absolutely intend to get a 154 because, as you can clearly see, 154 is completely attainable. I am gonna let this play all the way to the time, and I guess I'll turn the volume on here. One five five, boys. There it is. Perfect Elite 4. How much time could I save? Off of that Elite 4, I could easily save 40 seconds. Easily. So that is the end of this commentary. I am going to cut off my stream now and then come back so that it is cut off and I can highlight this. But thank you guys for who watched this commentary live. It was really, really enjoyable to do, and you're welcome to ask questions and stuff when I come back online. But I am going to cut now, and I'll see you guys in a second. Thank you, YouTube, for watching.